not for the reasons you might think.
Yeah, so this is a segment we wanted to do last week, but there was just too much other weather going on. So we want to break down the science behind what is coming for the rest of the season here, especially focusing in on the Northeast with Dr. Greg Postel. Because, Greg, not too long ago, we were talking about how this is nor'easter season. Is it really, how do the numbers match up, and what does that mean for Northeast snow and cold?
So the answer is yes. This is nor'easter season right now. The end of January and early February, that's when areas in the Northeast typically get their most snowfall. And it's based on a historical index called NESIS, which is sort of the New England snowstorm impact scale. And that shows you guys the question, so how do we get there? Why has it been so snowy for the last 6 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Because when you look at December, it was a struggle bus. Yeah. But then we really made up some ground.
It totally was. I mean, you remember how December was like setting? It turned around quickly in January. And in January, what we ended, the next question is, how long is this weird jet stream shape going to stick around for?
Right, because we've been talking a lot today already about the warm-up coming, and a lot of the country, including the Northeast, will see a warm-up, but there's still a tiny bit of troughiness up there. Does that mean more snow?
It probably does, and this is something to watch for, I think, early in the weekend. This is a teaser, right? For those of us interested in the weekend weather, heads up, because there's some uncertainty there. We could get some more accumulation.
The February time with this warmth.
Yeah, kind of melting that little crusty snow that you have in a number of spots here. A lot of you actually lost your snow this week after, last week's big middle-of-the-country snowstorm, because we've already been warm, but we're warming up even more with 228 million above average today. Tomorrow it's 213. On Friday it's less because we do have a little bit of a cool down coming in, but it's still 169 million that are going to be above average. Big ridge in the west is driving a lot of this, and the fact that our trough in the east is not as deep as it was in the past couple of weeks. So the really coldest of the cold is way up high there, up north of the Hudson Bay. So for us across the nation, even at 35 degrees in Minneapolis is not that bad, right? But, you look at places like Jackson, 68, Oklahoma City, 68 degrees. Do you remember that it was a week ago when you were in the cold and the snow and the ice and it was just brutal out there? No, it is the farthest thing from your mind. The heat is actually going to be extreme here for February standards in California. We may be setting records. I mean, but especially compared to what we have in other spots here, it's still chill. We've got numbers that are going well above average, and it's going to have you thinking spring, much more than, February and winter chill. We've got 228 million above average today, 213 tomorrow, 169 million above average still on Friday, and it's a lot of the Northeast by this point. There is a little cool down coming. You'll see that across the northern tier, and Alex talked about the chill to the north, relatively speaking. But, I mean, look at these numbers. We've got 71 degrees in Dallas today. Again, thinking more like March than we are thinking February. Temps in Nashville, Atlanta, and Greenville, we're going above average. It's getting hot in the Southwest, so hot that heat advisories are up actually through Sunday evening. And the concern is that numbers are going up into the 80s, and that might not be extreme heat, but it is for people who are not used to this kind of heat. It's even extreme for us in, Southern California in February. Of course, this is near record-breaking numbers out here. And for folks traveling in for the Super Bowl, the National Weather Service is definitely urging some caution with this kind of heat in place, and we may hit some records.